CAO-SHA-CHO. What is CAO-SHA-CHO in trigonometry? Other than the sine, cosine, and tangent, there are three other prime trigonometric functions that we need to understand. The other three of the six trigonometric functions are not used as often and can be derived from the three primary functions. These other three functions are the cotangent, secant, and cosecant. So the cotangent is contracted as COT. Secant is SEC and cosecant as CSC. So this contraction is what we usually see in equations or in solutions in trigonometry. So what does CAO-SHA-CHO means? CAO-SHA-CHO stands for those three functions, the cotangent, secant, and cosecant. The cotangent has adjacent over hypotenuse, which is represented by CAO, or conveniently read as CAO, because it has C for cotangent, A for adjacent, and O for opposite. For SAH, or read as SHA, has secant, or the function of secant equals hypotenuse over adjacent. So the SAH has S from secant, H from hypotenuse, and A from adjacent. Lastly is the CHO, or conveniently read as CHO, where this is the function represented by function cosecant, which is equal to hypotenuse over opposite. So the CHO, its C is from C of cosecant, H is from hypotenuse, and then O is the opposite. So in order for us to identify the three other functions, so these are the acronyms CAO-SHA-CHO. This picture of triangle can be a tool to express the relationship of these three functions in trigonometry. For each angle, there are 6 functions, and each function is the ratio of two sides of the triangle. The only difference between the 6 functions is which pair of sides we use. So what we have for the 3 functions are ratio of two sides of the triangle, and then the difference between them is that the pair of the sides that they will have. So that is how they differ from each other. To explain, for example, our angle in question is x. So the A here is the length of the side adjacent to the angle x in question. So A is the adjacent side because it is along the x angle. B is the length of the side opposite the angle. Because B is in opposite direction to the angle x, that would mean that this B is the opposite side of the angle. And lastly is the C, which is the hypotenuse. So we already know that hypotenuse is the longest side of the triangle. So first function, other than the 3, is the cotangent equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So with the missing angle, or angle in question x, so its adjacent is the A and the opposite side is the B. So therefore, the cotangent of x is equal to A over B. For the secant is equal to hypotenuse over adjacent. So the x here, with the x as our angle in question, we have hypotenuse, which is the side C. or the longest side of the triangle, and then adjacent as the side along with the x angle. So c over a is the function secant. Therefore, secant of x, or secant of angle x, equals c over a. Last function is the cosecant of the triangle. Cosecant is equal to hypotenuse over opposite. So what we must look first is the angle where we refer our function. The angle in question here is the same, x again. And then c is the hypotenuse. So we have c as our hypotenuse, and the opposite side is b. Since it is an opposite to our angle, so our opposite side is the side b. So therefore, our function cosine of x is equal to c over b, derived from hypotenuse to opposite. Simply, that is how we identify the functions, because not only cosine and sine and tangent are the primary functions in trigonometry that we must understand. This secant, cosecant, and cotangent are also very important, because even though they are not often used, there are still cases where they have uses and they are very useful. So that would be it, and I hope you learned, and thank you for listening.